So Keir Starmer has begun September with what some are calling a mini reshuffle, but which in turn has the feel of a major reset. Far from tinkering with advisors, he's created a new role, drawn in heavyweight economists, and sharpened his communications operation. And the changes tell us less about personalities than about the crisis of authority facing his government and the competing visions within Labour. The creation of the new role is for Darren Jones. Once Rachel Reeves, deputy at the Treasury, he's now been moved into Downing Street as the Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister. The title is unprecedented, signalling that Starmer wants an enforcer inside Number 10 who can knock heads together across Whitehall, and it reflects frustration with slow delivery and the sense that cabinet discipline is fraying. Starmer is attempting to centralise control, much as Thatcher did when she brought in Alan Walters, or as Blair tried with Jonathan Powell. Secondly, the parallel economic authority of bringing in Baroness Minouche Shafik, the former Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, who's now the Chief Economic Advisor, alongside Jones and Dan York-Smith, another Treasury veteran. This builds a formidable in-house economic team for Number 10. The political consequence is obvious. Reeves is left looking diminished. Allies say she welcomed the move, but opponents call it a shadow chancellorship in all but name. History is full of prime ministers trying to muscle in on their chancellors. Blair versus Brown, Thatcher versus Lawson, Johnson versus Javid. Usually such manoeuvres end badly. They expose weakness at the top and they breed rivalry. If Reeves is truly a dead man or dead woman walking, as one Labour MP put it, the government could soon implode from within. And Tim Allen, a Blairite veteran, has been hired to run Starmer's media operation. This follows a carousel of departures: Sue Gray, Matthew Doyle, James Lyons, Liz Lloyd. The instability suggests not just ruthless standards, but poor judgment from Starmer himself in choosing his advisors. So the message is clear. He wants a slick, professional media machine that echoes the Campbell-Blair era, but voters may not be persuaded by nostalgia for new Labour spin. Labour's poll ratings have slipped to around 20%, and with Reform UK enjoying leads in some surveys, and Starmer's authority has been undermined by the welfare cuts rebellion in Angela Rayner's tax controversy, and the perception that his first year in office has been wasted on fixing foundations rather than delivering change. The reshuffle is therefore as much about political survival as policy delivery. Angela Rayner, besieged over her property purchase, remains the biggest threat to Starmer's leadership. Some insiders suggest McSweeney and McFadden are manoeuvring to weaken her, aware that she could inherit the leadership if Starmer falls. The reshuffle thus has a dual aim: to box in Reeves and to steady Starmer long enough to prevent a Rayner coronation. Reeves faces a £50 billion fiscal black hole ahead of the autumn budget. If she raises taxes, she risks alienating voters. If she cuts spending, she enrages Labour MPs. Starmer's decision to install Shafik and Jones in Number 10 suggests he intends to take direct ownership of the economic narrative, knowing the budget will define the entire premiership. Starmer insists that this is phase 2 of his government, moving from foundation laying to tangible delivery. Yet the danger is that by centralising control and changing personnel so often, he signals weakness, not strength. Voters may see a government obsessed with internal fixes, while daily life, NHS queues, small boats, stagnant growth goes unchanged. This mini-shuffle is far more significant than its name suggests. It reveals a Prime Minister who knows his first year has been underwhelming, who fears both electoral decline and internal rivals, and who is seeking to centralise power in Number 10 at the expense of his own Chancellor. Whether this heralds a new phase of effective government or simply the beginning of factional collapse will depend on the budget this autumn, and in short, Starmer has rolled the dice. If the numbers do not fall this way, his way, and his authority, already precarious, may not survive the winter. That could bring down Starmer, it could bring down the government.